big ruckman and Gilbert, but therefore will end up on Lynch. That's how St Kilda are organising their taller defenders.
Opening bounce Friday night football. Saints minus Lenny Hayes, their champ, best on ground in Wellington last week. And away we go, and a good bounce to start proceedings. We appreciate that. Knocked down by Jolly, throws it out of the pack. Nunes immediately in the action, coughs it up. Wasn't expecting to play tonight. Swan goes long down towards full forward. Back goes Fisher. And the ball bounces out of bounds, so we'll have a boundary throw in.
Interesting matchup there at the other end of the ground. Heath Shaw, obviously attacking defender on Stephen Milne. He'd want to play him pretty close and tight, I reckon.
Dangerous spot this. Over the top though, Fisher did okay. O'Brien though, Harry charged down by Del Santo. In trouble Saunders. Strong tackle got him down, and we'll have a ball up about 40 metres out.
You know, about Stephen Milne, he's a good attacking player, he's sure, but I reckon he'd be pretty happy that he's had an attacking player on him rather than just a pure stopper.
Easy for Fisher, tackled by Witts, and that's going to be Witts' free kick. He won the battle of Witts. I know it was going to happen, but that was clever because the guy grabbed it out of the ruck, and the big fella wasted no time, just latched on and knew he had a free kick.
Could he join? Have a look at the free kick first and foremost.
You've got to say, not all that smart play there by Sam Fisher to take the ball when under the pressure like that.
Reid runs past for the hand pass. You can't look away for a moment. Shocking kick down towards full forward. Slap down to Robertson. Goes to the pocket. Jack Stevens away. Runs the boundary line. Has a bounce. Runs to the defensive 50. Kicks it up towards the wing. Clears the pack. It's all Collingwood behind.
Thomas. So Daisy, a couple of Thomases out there tonight for the Pies.
In the back, Collingwood against you.
So against Nunes. So Nunes had a shaky start. He gave the ball up to Swan and then gives the freeway. So Thomas asking something of Goldsack here and gets a good bounce. And then Goldsack goes down the line. Cloak on a very, very long lead. Stanley getting back. It's going to be a focus all night, isn't it? Stanley versus Cloak, and that one smothered both Elliott and Cloak getting involved in a boundary throw-in.
I've got to feel McAvoy will be getting back down there to try and have a bit of height to help out his defenders, but we know Darren Jolly loves sneaking in there to try and get a shot at goal himself, so we'll have to watch him.
Trying to hook it down behind Witts. Smothered off the boot. Nunes. Snapped out of the pack, Pendlebury. Saints claiming it was touched. It doesn't matter. He misses to the left-hand side.
Just thinking Jared Witch had a set shot from 40 metres out. He could join the club, you know, the first goal, first kick in the career goal club, but hand pass it off. What a disappointment.
Well, take the shot.
He earned it, though, with his first tackle in footy. Oh, what a marvellous stream that is. Around the outer side, meantime, the kick from Gary down towards half forward. Taken by Milne, flattened. Shaw was in very good form last week, and the ball spills out of bounds.
I reckon that's a message from the coach. Heath Shaw, obviously a great offensive player from half-back, but saying, look, one of our best attackers is going to play a defensive role on a really key player. Good start from Heath Shaw.
So it was McAvoy over the back, and then Jolly and Montagna, and a boundary throw-in. Montagna stood alongside Dale Thomas right at the start, but they're not together now. That would be a great matchup, actually, with a run and hard-nosed footy from both of those guys. Let's see if they get back together. Jolly, McAvoy. Stephen tried to snare it. Back to O'Brien, goes back to Seedsman, back to Pendlebury, back to Thomas, to Swan. Some pretty good names there, and then Swan did well. Oh, gee, Witts has made a very good start. Inside to Clark, Clark to Daisy, Daisy getting involved. Cracker gets involved. Clever, caught, gone. No, well, handball given apparently. Thomas to Clark, Clark on the left, whacks it to full forward. The bounce important, both Stanley and Robertson wish it over the line, and that's what happens.
Well, what we did see is that Jared Witts is going to keep Sam Fisher honest on a lead and also in the air, so it's got to be very careful, Sam Fisher, in taking too much space off Jared Witts.
Witts and McAvoy. Fisher fancies himself as a ruckman, tapped it down. Blair immediately the meat and the sandwich, and we'll have a ball up.
Thank you.
Collingwood by behind. Early going on a Friday night. Windy and cold outside. Lovely here at Etihad Stadium. McAvoy over the top. Fisher again, this time roving. Feeds it out towards the boundary. Montagna. Stephen again, same place he got his first kick. Kicks into an oncoming player in Daisy Thomas, and it ricochets out of bounds.
Started well, Thomas.
1 metre ruck.
Had a down year last year, we know that. He was absolutely magnificent in the couple of years before that. and an injury-interrupted pre-season this year. So Stephen heavily involved early, side bottom. Notice McCaff's been running with Dal Santo early. Good hand, Sard gets it back. Montaigne's got half it. Guernsey left now. They've almost ripped it off in Collingwood, and they're trying to rip the footy off him as well. And a boundary throw-in. So Joey there.
Goes in.
Yeah, that's it.
No closer.
Well, if you've got the body, you can do those things, Dennis.
Yeah. Don't look at me, Bruce. He needs a vine. Ball goes out wide. Taken by O'Brien. Nice kick. Full-chested. Cloak comes up and takes an early mark. Something he didn't do on Anzac Day. Long kick inside the forward 50. In front, Dempster. Stolen by Cracker. He was looking for a free kick. In goes Blair. He doesn't do that. He just goes after the footy and will have a ball up.
How good was that to see Andrew Cracker back? And that's what he does best. His timing of the front and square, just about the best I've seen in my time in footy, Andrew Cracker.
Goes after it again with courage that time. And again, well played. Got the kick away too, inspired by Richo's words. Bounces out towards the boundary. Nunes lays it off. Del Santo from half back. Kicks it up towards the interchange. Goes Goldsack. Gets a fly, comes over the top and thumps it out of bounds.
Well, he's a bit of an X-factor, Tyson Goldsack. On the full, here it is. He's going to get the free kick. Obviously, a pinch hit has been playing forward recently, but with Tuvey out, he's going to play a really crucial part for this remainder of the season for the Pies.
He was the sub on Anzac Day. Goldsack came out and kicked a couple, didn't he? But played forward and back that day. Clark got it from Thomas. The big switch on to Brown. Interesting, they started with Reid on Revolt. Brown, of course, did that fantastic job in the grand finals on Revolt. McCaffer, as I said, was running early with Dal Santo. And then McCaffer, that's a great kick. Brilliant, because there wasn't a lot of space and Cloak ran into it. And nothing much that Stanley can do about that.
He's going to need help, Stanley, by his players blocking the space, because I suspect he's not going to get into a wrestle with Cloak, so he's going to concede front position most of the time and just hope that he can spoil in the air. But if his midfielders don't block up the holes and Cloak can lead into them, then Stanley's going to be found very wanting.
Well, Richo talked about his improved kicking, he and Nick Revolt, and he's given that a push. So Richo, he's 18-11 coming in tonight, 18-12. Do you reckon the first ones are always big for those guys, mate?
I think it is for most key forwards. You kick your first goal, you feel pretty good for the rest of the night. So let's hope that Trav can get back online, but you'd love to kick your first one.
Fisher gave it to Dempster. That's a nice kick to Revolt. 27 possessions last week. One of his best performances in terms of possessions at least. Sard does brilliantly, runs the boundary line. Now a chance for the Saints to go forward. Ross over the shoulder, slapped on by Sard. In desperate trouble as Armitage went to ground, whistle, and the umpire will ball it up. In fact, a bit high, I thought, on the way down, but the umpire decided that he will ball it up regardless. Kozetsky hooks it down behind. Pendlebury deflected it across towards Jolly. Run over there was Seedsman, who goes back into the fray and wins the football, Seedsman.
Kilda.
But it's a free kick to the Saints. It's not retrospective, but high on Armitage. He's 60 metres out. Sweeping kick inside the forward 50. Oh, what a great grab. Sipos, a terrific mark. Strong hands. There was body to body in midair, and he managed to hang on.
It's a good grab, wasn't it? Goldsack had the body, but then as soon as there was the metre gap in the ball, because the ball was sent a little bit more than going for goal, but just see, he just gets the break, and then he was able to jump, really have a clear launch of the ball from the front position. But it still takes strong hands to bring it down. Good mark. Take the chance. Got to take your chances. St Kilda, I don't know if they're going to get a whole lot of them. I think they've got to be accurate. I couldn't imagine them kicking inaccurate and still getting a winning score.
Shaw found Reid, and then Reid out wide. Clark. So Clark will tease Revolt a bit, and he does, but Revolt gives him a little push and forces the error. So he just took a while. Clark wanted Revolt to be stretched and then wasted the footy. So no damage done by the Saints early. It's been mainly played in Collingwood's terms. That was the first inside 50, as Dennis said, for St Kilda. And they had a shot on goal. That's a good kick by Jones. He doesn't right cover the ground well. He's got some pace and some toe. We were told pre-match that Gwilt's playing in the VFL this weekend. He's missed 4 or 5 weeks because of a knee injury and a little op, and he'll be back in a couple of weeks. His Goldsack.
Did well, Goldsack. Couple of goals as the sub to an Anzac Day, and that's a telling kick. Pendlebury marks about 25 metres out.
It's a telling part of the ground. Jones obviously running with Pendlebury. Only moments before Jones tried to take Pendlebury forward to expose him. I think Pendlebury's going to do more damage as a forward out of that match up there, and you can just see it. I mean, he's a big man. He's 6'1", 6'2" in the old, and he's going to have his hands full there, Jones.
Clinton Jones back in favour, it seems, this season. Fell out of favour last year. He's done some good jobs already this season in a losing cause mainly, but Pendlebury hurts him that time. Took the mark, kicks the goal.
It's interesting, actually. I mean, Collingwood aren't going to want Pendlebury, out of the midfield a whole lot, but certainly on the matchup of Pendlebury versus Jones. Pendlebury's a forward and as a full forward and Jones full back. Well, you can know who's going to win that most of the time. The bigger man, the taller man is Pendlebury.
It's just a really good advantage that he's got. If he does feel like he's being worn like a glove, he can just duck forward and clear out the forward 50 and take a contested mark.
So live and interactive tonight. What do you think, Stephen Milne? Is he the best small forward we've seen in the last decade? I reckon he might be. I mean, twice All-Australian in the last 2 years. More goals here than anybody else. I reckon over the stretch he comes close. Of course, Gary Ablett, that's taking him out of it. He started as a small forward, but some other good names. Let's know what you think. Eddie Betts, one of them. Clark, gone, so the Saints with a chance here. Of course, if he kicks 6 or 7 tonight, it helps, doesn't it? We're always reactionary. So here's Geary. Well, that kick to the pocket asks a lot of Kazutsky. Reid was able to ping it off. That was a nothing kick, wasn't it? And then side bottom on the left out wide. Free kick. So the advantage given to Montagna. Robertson goes back in now. Gee, Dempster just ran into a brick wall, and then Robertson gets it back. Looks up, he's uncertain. He comes across the ground. Waiting Noon, still waiting. Now Gilbert can kick a goal from here, and does. Well done. Well, it was sort of a hard way of getting there, Lee, but they got there.
It was, yeah. They brought it to one side of the field to the other. Well, of course, that's the advantage that Gilbert's got over. He's playing the ruckman matchup, whether it's Jolly or Witt. So most of the time, if it becomes a question of hard running, well, he should be able to do it better than the big fellas, and he used that then by getting there to be the overlap receiver and kick the running goal.
I don't know what Dempsey was thinking of a moment ago, but it worked.
It's an attacking weapon there for St Kilda from the very last line of defence. Darren Jolly doesn't necessarily have the legs to push hard defensively, and Sam Gilbert exposing him very well there.
McAvoy and Witts. McAvoy decisively. Armitage missed the football. Seedsman a half chance, tackled strongly. Ross did well, slipped a hand pass away, but it's coming back. It's not St Kilda's ball. It's a free kick to Seedsman back inside the centre square.
Jolly's going to try and expose Gilbert at the other end now. He's isolated himself in the goal square there. You'll see at the top of the screen.
Seedsman goes for distance and gets plenty of it too inside the forward 50 at the back of the pack. Jolly, the last man in the queue. And somehow, with that massive frame of his, able to manoeuvre everybody in the conga line under the footy.
Well, as Richo said, when you got the height, then it's a market contest. He might have just eased Gilbert just a little bit forward in the congestion.
I think the umpire should dust Gilbert for Prince.
It's appreciation round, Den.
Yeah, right in the middle of his back. Well, I appreciate them, but having said that, here's Jolly, and he puts it through.
Well, it's using your strength, isn't it?
Yep.
The big man uses his height. The runner uses his speed.
Umpire appreciation night tonight. Matt Stevick is out there in the middle. Matt, a long way from that decision. How did it look to you?
Oh, no idea from 80 metres, Dennis.
Oh, Matt.
But no, look, there's plenty going on out here. It's pretty hot, pretty fierce contest early, so it's we've got to be on our guard and looking around and letting them play footy if they want to play. And
have you had much of these two sides this season personally?
yeah, we've had Collingwood a couple of times, but first one for the Saints, so
looking good.
Better go put this one up. Straight back, guys.
We're looking at Scotty Pendlebury there. I think he thought the umpire was talking to himself.
It's finally happened.
He's lost his wits, for the moment. But Ross going forward. Sipos just held on to by Brown. He's got the leg speed here, Sipos. Can he turn Brown inside out? Goes back to Geary. Geary off a step to fall forward. Collingwood with the numbers. Revolt's there, though. Who's at the pack? And belted through by Thomas for a behind. What's your early impressions, Tom?
I think the intensity and the defensive intent from Collingwood's been there. Quite clearly, it's been drummed into them all week, starting with Scott Pendlebury after the Anzac Day game.
And Kilda, I think. That's what I mean. Both sides, the umpire Stevic said it's a pretty hot game. Both sides are really getting at it, as you'd hope and expect.
Yep.
So Swan in the back half. And he once failed to get 30 disposals in the 5 games so far. Pendlebury off that step, lovely kick, so Cloak right up the ground. So 3 of their absolute superstars, Swan, Pendlebury, Cloak, back to Swan, that gut running. And Joey's changed the jumper. He never looks like Jane, but less like the other fella right now. So Clark crossed the ground. Shaw, who's got the job on Milne, and then Shaw comes very wide. So precise kicking here by Collingwood, one side to the other, Brown.
Goal sack right at the interchange gates.
They're tall in their forward line at the moment, Collingwood. They've got Quinton Lynch, Jolly, Witts, Cloak.
And so far, you've got to say it served them pretty well as the kick goes down towards the 50. Off hands, getting a hand on it, Jolly. Knocked it down in front, side bottom. So brilliant in the first half on Anzac Day. Newnes gave it across to Fisher. This is Geary looking around for support. Comes to Del Santo. Del Santo, the high ball towards the wing, but Shaw's in the road. Shaw looks back inside this time. Thomas. They're looking for a breakthrough. Elliott on the lead. This might be it. O'Brien about 70 metres out. Takes something off the kick. Clears the pack. Lurking at the back is Pendlebury. And the ball pushed across the line there by young Wright.
Pendlebury's really pushing forward a lot tonight. He's trying to expose Clint Jones there deep. He's already kicked the 1 goal. Just seems to be going forward more than normal tonight.
He's averaged a goal a game this season. McAvoy fell over. Not a great thing to do in that position. Montagna hacks it out. And well done, Thomas. Worked in front of Sipos. Saunders probably deserved one. They did well, Saunders. Can Revolt control it? And then he does toe poke. O'Brien got shoved in the back. Clark ran into Pendlebury and then goes back to Reid. Saints have got nobody forward to centre. They haven't had anyone forward to centre for about a minute or two now. Lynch. Squeezy out wide. And Jolly.
McAvoy's a player they need to avoid. He just can't bomb it up and hope.
See what happens. They've got that height. Well, he has bombed it up. McAvoy's in a good position, Tom. Belted away. Seedsman couldn't get a handle. Armitage was clever. He had to do that. Now Shaw can load up. Gee, that was good footy by Shaw. Brilliant stuff. And hits the post. It would have been some goal.
Yes, at the moment, the way they set up that last play, you've got a lot of players back to stop Collingwood scoring, but they're just, the ball's going to be in Collingwood's forward half because they've just got the brick wall back behind the St Kilda group.
Montagna initially to himself, then to Stanley. Good kick too. Revolt right on the wing. Only one Saint up ahead. That Sipos reaching over the top is Clark. Conceded some height but played it very well. Falling to the ground, Thomas slapped it away from his teammate. It's taken by Jack Stephen. Then he missed the target. Saunders was that target. Coming through O'Brien. Goes back to Clark. He's been in good form this season. Across to Shaw. A real playmaker at the back. Sends it to right half back. Say no more. Swan. It's in good hands here for Collingwood. 3 bounces. And then drops it onto the chest of side bottom and just cruises past and takes a break.
It's 28 marks to Collingwood and only 7 to St Kilda at the moment. Just dominating possession, controlling the tempo of the game.
Side bottom, told to play on, draws a man to him, and now kicks down towards the 50, reaching over the top. Wits taken by Pendlebury. Clever. How clever was that to Cracker? Cracker finds a way through. It bounces towards the goal square. Robertson, the former Docker, did nicely.
He did. Kept his cool. Montagna very deep. Good kick to Armitage. Now, how does he go here? sizes it up, comes wide. He's got a fair bit on the kick. It's a good one, and they played it well. Milne was brilliant. Stevie going for goal and drilling it. You little beauty. He's got my vote.
Didn't his eyes light up when the two Collingwood defenders virtually put themselves out of the contest and the ball fell for him? He's 70 metres out. One thing you know about Milne, if he can get through the 50-metre line, he's going to, as he should.
There's been a bit of poaching. I mean, he can poach, can't he?
Yeah, well, I've been trying to think about that question. I can't. No name's popping into my mind that's been a better permanent. I mean, Gary Abbott's a midfielder, but a permanent small forward over the last decade.
Just an absolute vintage Stephen Milne. Two Collingwood players go
Where's
for
the ball?
it.
There it is.
Didn't lose his feet and goes, I've got space in front of me. What he does so well is when he's from 50, doesn't try to overkick the ball, just drops it basically on the goal line like he did there. Outstanding.
Well, I reckon that's the play tonight for them. They're getting all their numbers back, the Saints. They're happy to not let Collingwood score, and then occasionally they're going to try and come back that way with a rebound from one end to the other.
Is that rope-a-dope, do you think, Richo, the old rope-a-dope trick?
Yeah, it looks like that tactic. Collingwood have taken 20 more marks. They're controlling all the play, but they're just getting numbers back, and then occasionally, hopefully, they'll get that fast break back the other way.
Jolly, normally even-tempered, not happy with Kaczynski there, and now Del Santo.
I think most of those marks are across the midfield, half-back. I mean, in other words, spreading the ball out of defence. Collingwood have got plenty of space to do that.
And Ross grabs it, kicks it down towards half-forward. Milne, Seedsman favoured by the bounce. He was lucky there. Gives it to Thomas. That's Daisy Thomas out wide. Swan, so good in those situations. Somehow orchestrates getting the football, but unfortunately it goes out of bounds.
Well, Swan and Montagna are the two respective midfielders who don't have a hard tag, it looks like, so they'll be running around racking up plenty of the ball.
Oh, Darren Jolly, advantage!
So Pendlebury takes advantage. Montagna, gone, holding it. You don't see that from Pendlebury very often. So Armitage gets in, that is a rarity. And Armitage takes a chance with the kick, the one-on-one. Oh, Nunes almost, that was something, I thought. Against Dwyer, not paid. Dwyer now has to run the gauntlet. He does okay. Switches the handball, gets it out wide. Elliott goes, Thomas, I should say, goes back to Reid. Back in board. Dwyer pushing forward and found Cloak up the ground again. So Cloak probably a couple of kicks away from goal.
50 metres, run into the
Well, not now.
Ran into the mark.
So it makes a massive difference, doesn't it?
And the point of that rule, of course, is to make sure if a player wants to play on, he can, but every now and again someone just drifts into that protected area and it's an automatic 50. We'll have a look at Cloak going back. St Kilda player.
Just on the back there.
He runs through the protect, and it's such a harsh rule, isn't it? I know the purpose is just to stop players trying to prevent the opposition playing on, but gee, it's a heavy penalty for that.
What do they say? Draconian. Does that fit? Maybe. There goes the kick, and through it goes. Still on balance, it's okay, I reckon. Cloak gets the goal, aided by the 50, as Bruce said, too far out to score. Came in much closer. I think the kick was against Saunders, the youngster just cruising past. And as a result, Cloak, who got 7 2 games ago against the Tigers, was quite outstanding, a career high. Dominated that game. Confidence player, we saw that on Anzac Day. In one sense, is now the confidence, aided by the 50 and the goal, might be on the upswing.
Just to reinforce this, from where Cloak's line of the mark, it's 5 metres either side has to be protected, and it was just a lack of concentration. The St Kilda player just drifted into the area that he's got to vacate or not go into.
Hey, Lee, what about the 15-metre penalty back for that one? Too harsh. Yeah, way too harsh. Fair point.
Well, you're talking to the right bloke, Richo. So Ross gets it. Out wide to Nunes. It's been hard for Nunes tonight. He did the warm-up not thinking he was going to play. It's been involved early. In fact, got the first touch really and then coughed that up. But he's had his moments short. So he's fitting in okay. Saunders, who was, as Dennis said, the guy that approached a moment ago. Back inside. Good change of direction by Dempster. Now Collingwood clogging it up. Revolt against a couple. Sipos went early. Not a bad tactic. Shaw, that was a great tackle bringing Shaw down. And is it a ball up or a throw-in?
Good forward pressures there by the Saints. A ball up.
So Witts hooks it back to McCaffrey. It was well done by Witts. Swan And is that out on the full? Not quite. So
I mean, which Ruckman, of course, can't hit it out of bounds on the full or through the goals on the full. I suspect he knows that. The opportunity doesn't present itself too often, but as a young, very inexperienced player to the sport.
Played it well.
Magpies by 7 points. Reid offloads it. Seedsman feigned a hand pass. Runs his 15, drives it out towards the wing. Tailor-made for McAvoy. Straight through his fingertips, though. Lurking behind the pack, Blair, trying to knock it onto his own advantage, but the boundary line was too close. Thomas has started well tonight. 8 possessions. That's good to see. Has been battling to try and find his form. O'Brien from Wits sends it down towards half forward, working in front. Cloak. Fisher goes back, closing down and taking him across the line is Dwyer. Boundary throw in.
So McAvoy and Wits. He's got 17 of his relations here tonight. Wits and Swan, brilliantly done, and then kicks to a good spot. He's given Cloak every chance. Great mark.
That was interesting. That's an inexperienced defender. I mean, it's very hard when you're actually... But what happened then, basically, Stanley, he may have hurt his hand.
Well, he spoke about before the Richmond game where he busted his finger and didn't affect him. He went on to kick 7, but what about Swan? He's just got that beautiful, explosive pace from a stoppage.
Just lost,
That's bread and butter, Travis Cloak, isn't it?
It was for him, but I mean, as soon as you take your eyes off the ball, it's going to be a free kick if it's not a mark. So that ability to defend and still watch the ball is what Stanley failed to do.
So can he get a second goal? So a couple of posters to Collingwood. Cloak's had 3 shots on goal. Just hurt himself a bit there, but he's okay.
Seriously, that kick from Dane Swan, though, was absolutely perfect to advantage. Any key forward would love that. All you got to do is hold your weight there and easy mark.
So Robertson's played the 1-2 pretty well here. He's done a good job. He's got it almost to the wing, and Stephen takes the mark.
22 plays 14, approaching quarter time. Stephen down the line, and it's missed on the other side by Saunders. And from his hands goes out of bounds, I think. Del Santo getting a free kick wide of that play. So Del Santo against McCaffrey, I'd suggest. Goes to Armitage, who looks towards half forward. Nunes closed down by Goldsack, who improvises and moved at about 15 metres. Saunders in desperate trouble. McCaffrey tackled him, I think, with relish there, but it was high, was it? Apparently. Ball goes wide. Montagna kicks it down towards the pocket off the fingertips of Reid, and it runs out of bounds.
St Kilda playing a dangerous game, aren't they? They're going short, short, short.
Well, they have to try and set up on the way through, but they're just kicking the ball deliberately to the forward pocket, almost to prevent the Collingwood rebound. Like, if it's going to be rebound, it'll be out of the back pocket, so... But hard for the forwards.
Collingwood.
So against Milne for a dive there, getting in low, so... It's poor play by Milne because they had the numbers for the moment. Wits keeps getting his hands on everything from the throw-ups.
It's been good, Wits.
So Thomas, Thomas short to O'Brien. Seatsman down low. Well done, Sard, holding the footy. Indirect disposal, and the advantage given to Armitage. Not sure if they can take it, though. Free kick to Kosicki against Reid.
This is a great tackle. He got one arm and he just missed the ball. This one, he was completely out of position, Cozzy. That is an absolute bonus free kick. Reid just judged it worse than Cozzy did.
It's a hard way to get one, though.
Yeah, well,
doesn't worry. I don't think it worries.
I think he'd be happy to have it. Yeah, I think he'd be happy to have it.
Has anyone had harder hits than Cozzy over the years from teammates and foes?
Yeah, I don't think the peripheral vision is great. I don't think he sees them coming.
How big's this kick? I mean, Cozzy, he's not the player he was. He needs to take advantage of everything he gets, and that's just.
What his mental battle will be like, Tom. I mean, he's been a really good player, struggled recently. I mean, gee, it'd be hard work. You know, just your confidence would be down, and it'd be a battle.
I mean, he throws himself into every contest. He's had plenty of injuries, up to 197 games, but even the really good players need confidence pills every now and again, and that would have been one, so he's just got to get himself back on top of the game.
Good for McAvoy's confidence right there. Good mark, shows a lot of the football to Swan, but Robertson kept his eyes on the footy and kicks a goal before Madoka.
It's one of their defenders. I mean, it's two defenders that have actually got forward and kicked the goal. I guess that's one of the things with the press up to try and lock the ball in your forward line. Every now and again, a defender can get the ball either from the cross outside in, as McAvoy sent him on his way, and then he was able to get through 50.
So we haven't had back-to-back goals for either side tonight. They've simply gone goal for goal, and this is the 6th of them.
The call by Swan, I mean, he tried to virtually take the ball with him, but when he didn't take the ball with him, he's out of the contest, and clearly Robertson could just play on.
First goal, as I said, he's only kicked 5 goals, Robertson, in his career coming into tonight, close to 50 games. So a couple of bonuses here, and they've got them in similar ways, the Gilbert and Robertson goal. And it's obvious the way St Kilda, they're absorbing, aren't they? And then they're counter-attacking.
Doing well at the moment. They're keeping good pressure around the ball to make sure Collingwood can't get clear easily.
And that scoreboard is oh so tight.
Holding still side, Connor. Still side.
Against Al Santo.
No advantage.
That was way off the ball and going on for a while. So Brian to take off. He gallops away as he does. And then very short. Cut off though, Armitage. This is a big play now. Can Armitage make it sit? O'Brien, Reid. Reid tapped it to Clark. They had the numbers. Back to Josh Thomas. Off the step. Cracker and Nunes. Well done, Nunes. Cut across in front of Cracker there. And took the mark. So the Saints right now would be, I reckon, pretty happy with this opening term. They've kept right up with Collingwood. So no Lenny Hayes. He did the calf in the warm-up. And it's Buckley's boys that lead, but it's not much in it. Friday night footy on 7 here. It's 22-20, 3-4 to 3-2.
The McCaffrey, one of their potentially more shutdown defensive types.
So far tonight, St Kilda happy to be counter-punchers, and it's serving them well. Gone goal for goal. 22 plays 20. Started the second term. Friday night football. Jolly had to wait. Over the top, McAvoy had it, then lost it. Rolls back down to Jolly, who gets to his feet. McAvoy takes him down again. Wide of the pack. Opportunity now for the Saints to build. It bounces down towards their half-forward line. Josh Thomas to Daisy Thomas. Pendlebury. Too slick for Josh Thomas, taken by Del Santo. They'll start again. Armitage was involved earlier. Kicks it down towards half forward. It bounces out towards right half forward. Shaw got a boot in there. Geary was legged. Saunders wants to go. He's taken the advantage, the youngster. Well, he's missed out to the right, and the coach's reaction, I think, tells a little bit, but credit to the man. He had no hesitation. He thought he could do it. And I suppose had he kicked it, all would have been well. Thomas to Goldsack.
And Goldsack switches it to Reid. So Reid with plenty of time now to size it up. Not a good kick. And Dempster just cuts it off. He got injured against Richmond early this season. All-Australian last year, as Fisher's been in 2008. And here is Fisher, twice the best and fairest. Good kick to Gilbert. So 3 key defenders there. And particularly Fisher and Gilbert can attack at times. Seen Gilbert with a running goal so far. That's that awkward kick of his. Sipos front spot, worked underneath by Brown. Stephen read it well against McCaffrey, and then outruns him. McCaffrey chased hard, produced maybe a turnover. That's a brilliant mark from a brilliant footballer. He can do those sorts of things. He's a freakish player. And Shaw with a short one.
Just get the feeling he's in rare form at the moment. There's a cross half back playing with undoubted confidence. And it's starting to creep back for Dale Thomas as well, as we said. 9 possessions in the opening term. Goes to Goldsack, hard against the boundary line. A point the difference. Goldsack looks inside. Not much gain by that. Thomas again. Indicating he wants some movement. Or perhaps he wanted space out wide. That's what he got anyway, and went to Shaw, who goes along the boundary line to a long leading cloak. Started that run a long way back. Goldsack alongside the centre square. O'Brien was going to be his target, but that was something O'Brien was oblivious to. Back to Shaw again. A lot of possession goes to Jolly.
So not much movement from Collingwood. It's taken them a long way to get to this point. Long time.
Big McAvoy's positioning's been really influential in that.
Lee.
Yeah, just the fact that he's actually going where Collingwood want to kick the footy, so they've happened to hold possession, chip the ball around and pretty much slow down.
And Reid had a bit of an air. Jolly did well. He actually roved it in the end, got down pretty low. Won't be hurried, gets to O'Brien. This is what they wanted, somebody to run and carry and create, and he did just that. Gets it to Dwyer, into Clark, natural left footer, so it was a good handball, and that's a good kick in the end. It was measured, and Cloak could probably dob this.
Well, he's really happy to get right up the ground at the moment, Travis Cloak. He's got big Witts and Lynch behind him. He took that mark on the wing before, so he's having a spell at centre-half forward now.
So he was the centre of your attention, Richo, before the match, along with Revolt. And he's had a fair bit of it, Cloak. Now he winds himself up, gets pretty close to the man on the mark, gives it a hook to the pocket, not a good kick. And McAvoy gets back easily. Oh, dangerous, but a good mark taken by Wright. Like the look of this fella.
Plays on immediately. Fisher in the back pocket. Drives it long towards the wing. Drifting in there was Brown in front of Revolt. Had come a long way. Shaw again with Dash. Back inside the forward 50. Elliott launched himself. Couldn't hang on. Robertson. He's been impressive back there. Feeds it towards the goal square. McAvoy. Robertson. Clever. Fisher in trouble though. Had to wait. It turned out to be too long. Closing down on him was Cloak, and that hurt. And the ball then goes out of bounds. So a boundary throw in. And Fisher, the worse for wear. Boundary throw in about 25 metres around.
Saying Jamie Eld has to be careful he doesn't jump in packs. He's good overhead, but not jumping against the big fellas.
Well, that was his stock in trade on Anzac Day, wasn't it? Just launching into packs.
He took a couple lots of trouble. You take, good one-on-one, but if you try to take a mark in a pack, a player of his size will do about 1 out of 20.
So Witts and McAvoy, and then Fisher's done a fair bit of that tonight, and that was really effective. Stephen had a bit of an area, then a poor bounce, and he's got himself into a little bit of a spot, but they're okay. Ross got it from Montagna. Lovely kick to Kosicki. Now Revolt wants it in a hurry. Jones, Montagna, it's in good hands. Revolt double back as he so often does. Montagna wanting to... Oh, gee, that was interesting. Montagna running on, and Goldsack shoved him out of the way. So Thomas, a poor kick by Revolt. Jolly, Thomas, Shaw, back to Daisy. Cut off, back to Revolt. Revolt's little handball. Sipos off a step, gets it all. It's a goal. The Saints are in front. Well, he's got such a powerful leg, Sipos. I mean, one step that was. And again, Richo talked about this earlier, that they're just absorbing, and then counter-punching on a goal.
Well, they are. Collingwood try to run the ball out of the back 50, but as soon as a couple of chain of handballs, as soon as they lose possession and an opposition player gets it, well, you're in the bad part of the ground. So basically, Collingwood's defence they just don't look as solid as we've expected them even a few weeks ago.
This passage of play will really please the Collingwood coaching staff. All it took was a little bit of a fumble there from Daisy Thomas, and the Collingwood players, their forward players, just at the Collingwood defenders the whole time. And Sipos, he's a beautiful kick of the footy off one step.
So back in the middle, Rucks go at it again. Knocked out of there by Jones. Getting back is Swan. Josh Thomas had to wait. Stephen did well, won the football, gives it to Wright, right inside the centre square. That's more fluent. That last build-up was a bit like watching your dad dance. It was awkward. It worked out okay, but that's good. That was clean out of the middle.
Fourth game, Nathan Wright from Berwick in Victoria, but I agree with you, Bruce. That's good. Like the look of him. First time I've seen him play live.
So, Nick, what can he do here? Seen Cloak miss a couple at the other end. And now Nick's on the clock. Always tough because he works so hard, Nick Revolt. Has to compose himself. We talked about that one Friday night with him. Not always easy, but he comes through in the clinch. We talked about back-to-back goals. Well, suddenly the Saints are on a roll.
Gee, that's a good finish. I mean, that's just a magnificent kick. I mean, Dennis talked about the problems of trying to catch your breath and compose yourself and getting a wind-up from the umpire. And he just struck that so sweetly, Lee, didn't he?
Absolutely, yeah. And he's actually been kicking quite well from what I've seen this year. I mean, he's just been making good contact. He's always doesn't tend to kick straight. His ball tends to move a bit in the air, but he's been making good contact and looking like he's capable of kicking good distance as he did then.
Well, this is what Nick Riewoldt done for a long, long time. He just always presents at the ball carrier. That's his 15th goal for this year, and you'll love this, Bruce. That's his best start to a season. After 5 rounds, he had 14. Never has he started a year this well goal-kicking-wise. So he's having a pretty good year, Nick Riewoldt.
I do love it, Richard. In fact, I'm astonished by it. Think of those years where he was kicking in the 70s. So that's an amazing stat. Stephen taking the man on, and they are on a roll. Can Riewoldt get involved? He gives a little shove and then got a shove. And then Shaw has been so good out wide to Elliott. So Collingwood a couple behind here. Elliott running hard down the line. Looked a good kick. Great mark from Lynch. Over Gilbert. So now they've got to wait for the cavalry to get back. Heard the hump. So Lynch hugs that boundary line. Robertson decided not to go. Swan's got over the back. Armitage has to get it off in a hurry. McAvoy did pretty well. And then Armitage to Jones, a couple of lefties. And then Jones got through the middle.
Too easily too. Looks up and spots a man on the move. It was going to be a relayed free kick. Doesn't matter. They've taken the mark. Jones picks himself up ruefully. Kickers with Sipos, who kicked a wonderful goal 2 goals ago. Feeds it out wide to Fisher. Jack Stevens got busy in this term too. Had 7 1/4 time. Has had 4 in this quarter so far, and he's prepared to run. That's a very late bump.
Yep, no doubt about that. And we just saw Nick Riewoldt leading up for the ball. Ben Reid, his opponent. I reckon he's had 3 or 4 opponents at the moment. I might check with Richo who he thinks the best matchup is a little bit later on.
And by his lofty standards, Pendlebury only 6 possessions so far, so getting a little annoyed. O'Brien only as far as the wing and stretching. Ross takes the mark.
So short to McAvoy. So McAvoy short again. Oh, that's a good, courageous mark. Elliott was in hard on Saunders, but he stood his ground, Saunders. So Collingwood here really facing a problem. Saints have kicked the last 3 goals of the game, including the only 2. That's a poor kick going forward. Just lack of vision really there. I mean, it was
didn't get the elevation. He sort of kicked the ball probably 40 metres when he at least had to kick it 50 over the top of that Collingwood defender.
So Goldsack to Seedsman. Seedsman is a long kick, and that's a beauty. Out wide, O'Brien. Well done, Ross, because he nearly overcommitted, but then Harry takes him on.
Runs up towards the wing. This cues with a kick. It bounces down towards half forward. White again gets back. Paddles it deeper into defence. That's ambitious to no one in particular. Bounced okay for Gilbert. Goes back over the shoulder. Saunders. Now Stanley breaks out of defence. Drives it long towards side. He can take it and go. Will he? No, he's held up, and a runner cruising past. Gives the hand pass away. That man I was talking about before, Stephen, dead to rights, I would have thought. Play on's the call. Well done by Shaw. Armitage arrives quickly. Put pressure on Goldsack. Little 1-2 from Pendlebury and Shaw. Shaw, anything but. Kicks it outside the defensive 50. Lynch to Thomas. And Thomas goes wide and finds Cloak.
He also tells Cloak just to slow it down. That was really high pressure, intense football there from Collingwood. They stood up pretty well. Just take the sting out of the game now.
So Cloak in the back half. The Saints won't mind that. Lynch against a couple. Cracker chasing hard. Free kick. Well, that's interesting because Cracker went down low there, and that's not sure about that. So he was low, and we've been seeing the guy that gets low has the free kick against him.
If he ducks his head, Mac, I think he just sort of more or less dropped his knees, and if that happens, a little different than leading with your head, which the umpire says you can't get a free kick for.
Fair enough, Lee. O'Brien's kicked Robertson, as Dennis said, has been pretty good. He dropped that down, he's lucky. And then Gilbert had one drop and can't get rid of it. He's gang tackled, he does get it out. McCaffer, side bottom, hot footy. Pendlebury, brilliant. Lynch, still Lynch, off a step to full forward. Good kick. Gave every chance. Jolly can't quite, well done again. Robertson, the ex-Docker. So a hot moment in the game here. Collingwood really pushing hard to get a goal back.
Robertson's been very good. Plays on immediately. Couple of bounces. Brings it out towards the defensive 50. Sets it up for Del Santo. Had to wait. Took the mark. Overcommitted was Thomas. Del Santo breaks away. Goes down towards half forward. Riewoldt reaches over the top of Reid and punches the ball out of bounds.
referencing that thing, we talk about the Rewald matchup that I thought Nathan Brown interviewed during the week and said he just runs too hard for one. So Ben Reid has to take the matchup at times. You have to alternate it over the night, through the night.
After the boundary throw in, Jones is in front. Side bottom arrives quickly and the ball spills out again. So the boundary umpire will do it again. 10 points the margin, Saints way. Wits studying concentration, but the ball went well wide. Tapped down to Montagna by Kazetsky. Robertson again. Kicks towards half forward. Terrific mark by Brown. Controlled it with his left arm and just as well.
We saw Brown play some really good games on Nick Riewoldt in the finals in the premiership year for Collingwood, but he's probably spent the least amount of time on Riewoldt tonight.
Seedsman deep in the back pocket.
And then Tommy missed the next year, Brown, with a knee injury. So it's taken him a while to get back, I think, to his best. He's moving so well at the moment.
Yep.
It's been 22 minutes since the Collingwood goal, and Heath Shaw's had 10 disposals in this term, and it's been going 13 minutes. So side bottom. So St Kilda's tactics here are very effective. Collingwood nowhere really to go at the moment. They're being hemmed in. And here's another case in point. They've just got to play the percentages. Well done, Wits.
Thanks, Justin.
It's been pretty impressive, Lee, hasn't it?
Well, he has, but I just think the extra 200-centimetre player for me is not working for Collingwood because you got one less runner, which slows them down, which means when you need someone to run into space to sort of break the play open, that's why they're chipping the ball around. They just can't get any momentum through their ball use.
So Collingwood again on this back foot. They're racking up the numbers, but they're not going anywhere.
They're not going anywhere.
Well, their sub, Lee, young Ben Kennedy, he's about 170-odd centimetres tall, so he's going to add a bit of zip when he finally comes on.
Good courage going back there from Fisher. Stephen's been terrific. His manhandle left and right, and that ball not coming out and the ball up.
It's been such a disciplined effort from the Saints, though, so far. Getting a player behind the ball, then the courage to stand in front of the Collingwood forwards. Just a structured, disciplined effort. They've come in with a strong plan.
Just with Lenny in the crowd there, not just a face in the crowd. He was out there before the game. Came off with what we're told was a sore calf. This ball inside the 50. Sipos on his back, and we'll have a ball up just inside the 50. Sebastian Ross driving the Saints in there. A few moments ago, I think they called Dempster Ross. Well, Ross should be flattered. Dempster, terrific player. Brown in trouble. Slung as he tried to kick. Emerging with the football, or trying to, is Pendlebury. He certainly attracted a crowd and some conversation at close quarters from some of the best in the game.
Sorry, Denley, what do you think? Interesting from Terry Wallace, saying, having watched the Pies over the last month, don't like their tempo footy. Stephen going forward. Sipos got a high one. Surely. How stiff was he? That ball still not coming out. Anyway, and what happens here?
Holding the football, Collingwood.
Well, that's the point. They are chipping the ball around to each other, but they're just not getting any movement. And therefore, when they do get forward, they're giving the St Kilda defence adequate chance to set up.
Gee, I reckon they dodge one there, Collingwood.
Here's one where they'll be able to run it.
So Rich gives it to McCaffrey.
McCaffrey's away then. Searching kick inside the forward 50. Looking for a free kick as Lynch. And he's going to get it. May have played it up a little bit. They locked arms. And Quentin Lynch, twice the leading goal scorer for the West Coast Eagles, will take a shot at goal directly in front. He's averaging 19 possessions a game. He was the Eagles' leading goal scorer in 06 with 65 and in 07 with 52. So he knows how to kick a goal. Fair to say the Magpies need one now.
Got the free kick, but whenever you can actually kick the ball into your forward line out of the centre square, your forwards are very much advantaged.
Right behind the kick then. It's going left. And he misses. The margin comes in now to under 10 points. But the Saints, after a bit of rope-a-dope in the first term, are playing the better.
And Dennis, still 24 minutes since that last goal for Collingwood. Gilbert down the line. Good kick to Riewoldt. So both Riewoldt and Cloak, as Richo said, they cover so much ground. Belted away by Goldsack. Shaw's been magnificent. Gets it to Elliott. Brilliant tackle by Gilbert. Brought him down. Slick handball from Dwyer. Blair down low. Gee, like this from St Kilda at the moment. They are red hot. Armitage dummied one and then goes down to the pocket. Riewoldt in a poor position. It wasn't a good kick. And Reid is a terrific defender, we know that.
Well, this will test Terry Wallace's theory now. They're just going back behind the mark, playing the percentages, keeping possession of the ball. But It's all well and good, but late in quarters you can fatigue, you can tire and turn the ball over, which is exactly what St Kilda have forced Collingwood into so far.
And Tom, when you think about the fact, that's a good kick. No Maxwell, no Tuvey, and running hard along the line, and no Ben Johnson at the moment, so there's a lot of that defence out of the way. Good mark taken from Cloak.
Tifarant to score, looks back towards the middle. McCaffer, 70 metres from goal, lowers the eyes. And Johnny's been a target down there, and a willing one has taken the mark about 40 metres out, almost directly in front.
Again, I just say also it's a bit like a broken record, but if you can take the punt and get the ball through the centre square, you open up your forward line and just set up your forwards. And that's what Collingwood, when you play around the boundary line, well, you're going in a predictable direction to your forward line. So the last two times Collingwood got centre square, got shots at goal.
Can kick a goal. The big guy steps inside the 50, and that's nice. Sweet off the boot. He's got a couple now, and just as well. Margin, 9 points. In fact, it's 3.
Well, that's a bonus. I mean, I think Lee was the one that talked about Jolly loves going for kick, but 2 goals out of him before half-time's a bonus, isn't it? It's 1 extra. You know, it's a good result.
Yeah, good from Jolly, but 4 goals for Collingwood.
Yeah.
It's a low, so, I mean, that's what I mean. Travis Cloak is getting a fair bit of the ball, but a lot of it outside kicking distance. He's kicked his 1 goal too, but at the moment, the main guys they're going to aren't the blokes most likely to get it.
So 25 minutes in between goals. Jolly, the multiple goal scorer here tonight. He's got 2. Cloak 1 to Pendlebury, and singles to the Saints, including Revolt. There's Kosicki, good tap. Montagna held on, 2 little give okay to Jones. Del Santo, Swan and O'Brien, they just manhandle him, don't they? And the ball up. So Del Santo challenged by Scotty Waters. I know he had 5 disposals to quarter time. What's he had? He's had 8. So that's below par. He's been getting a little over 20. In fact, he's averaged Del Santo in the matches so far 23.5 going into tonight.
And that's the hardest tag of the match. McCaffer's the one running really hard with Del Santo, and you've got to say, doing a pretty good job.
Jolly thumps it wide. Taken by Elliott. Got a hand pass away on the way down. Missed by Swan. That's unusual. Coughed up by Newnes. Strong tackle. Got Dwyer down. Montagna was the tackler. Appeals for a free kick. Nothing doing.
Well, Kilda have been really great with their defensive pressure, but when you have such a defensive mindset, you don't necessarily blow away sides, so that's why we've only got the 3-point lead at the moment. So they too need to get on the front foot and start attacking also.
The two-edged swords, I reckon St Kilda have been good, but I think Collingwood have been quite poor.
Yep.
I just don't think they've played very well at night. Tonight, certainly St Kilda have made it difficult for them, but Collingwood well down.
Tom, if you close your eyes, you think Ross Lyon might be coaching tonight?
You would, absolutely.
So off a step, Jones out wide. Bad bounce for Sipos. Daisy's had a lot of the ball tonight. He's played a bit of a sweeping role at times. Oh, Elliott went so high.
It's not the habit. It's not a good habit for a small man to be jumping on packs. You only take an occasional one.
And here's a question for you, Lee. I mean, there's not too many times when you take a player off to feed them a message, but would you do that with a young player?
Send the message.
Yep. So Revolt did so well there. Now kicks it in front of him. Shaw's a hard man to beat. Stevie's got all the tricks. Now this is a chance. Oh, it just went the wrong way. He wanted a leggy and he got an offie.
Didn't 2 good players play that well? The defender played it really well. Milne played it really well. Pretty much a draw in the end.
And do you know what? It was a great kick by Milne. I mean, from where he was.
Golsack runs himself into trouble. Just kicks to a contest. Big leap out there. Elliott finally took the mark, and good could come of it. Gives it off to McCaffer. McCaffer hesitates. Elliott, who's quick, gets it back. Humes in pursuit. Elliott goes down towards half forward, reading the play nicely. Stanley, the big man, just drifting across. Takes the mark outside the defensive 50 for the Saints. Not a good kick over the head of Saunders. Dwyer comes through. Controls it nicely. Back inside the forward 50. This time it's not Jolly, it's Witts. He's got the football back in the square. Well, won't be required. He goes short to Josh Thomas. Running back towards the square was Quinton Lynch.
Mark's here.
Always interesting when you see a play for the first time live, and Big Weirds kicks the ball all right when he has to. The couple he's had, looks pretty agile, looks a good prospect.
Chose the right option as it turned out, although the goal still to be kicked. Josh Thomas hangs it out to the right. Miners score. So the margin 3 points.
The thing about you look at Witts, it looks like he's got a lot of height in his body. He's got a long body rather than really long legs, and that's the build you want as a footballer. You want your height in your body and short legs for balance.
Constantly in the back up. So Collingwood from set shots tonight, 4 goals, 4. So.
And they haven't been difficult, Bruce. They've been that sort of 35 out, basically straight in front.
70% as you reckon. When you're 3, they should be getting 6 out of 8, not 4 out of 8. So Montagna off a step out wide. Jolly's been good. Backing board. Thomas in good nick. Seedsman back to Thomas. And then Thomas gets away from Sipos. Good kick.
Collingwood player down forward of the ball, but a block off the ball. I don't know whether it was deliberate or intentional, but he's...
It's Elliott, by the way.
Yeah, he's feeling it.
So Brown loads it up. And Fisher versus Witts. Witts got rid of Fisher. Stanley getting back. Still with Stanley. Geez, Stanley just coughing it up. So he's made a couple of bad mistakes, Stanley, and O'Brien makes him pay. He's had 5 awful minutes, Stanley. The kick a moment ago was just dreadful. The short kick that
when you're being tackled in the goal square, you basically just concede the behind them, and you're allowed to do it. You're under pressure. But if you keep the ball alive in that part of the ground without having a definitive target,
Gee whiz.
He's in trouble.
So goal to O'Brien. Now let's have a look at Elliott here. It's Kazitsky. Wow, okay.
He's in trouble. Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble.
That's very crude.
it's made the contact that looks like it's made.
Yeah.
Collingwood with the last 2 goals then. Stephen trying to do something about it. Tackled by Pendlebury. Did well. Digs it out of the centre. Gave it to Montagna. Kicks it out towards the wing. Under a minute in this first term, or rather first half, as Ross goes back. Jones in trouble. Ross. Jones came again, goes with the outside of the boot down towards half forward. Del Santo, fickle bounce, taken behind him. Though the hand pass came across from Newnes to Saunders. The 2 youngsters combining, but the kick hangs out to the right. Minor score.
So here's another look at this.
Well, that's much clearer, isn't it?
Yeah, that's not good
That's
at all.
high.
Sad to see an ageing player do that, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really disappointing.
At the back.
So Collingwood have got the lead back just before half-time. It's been hard going. Saints have made a lot of the running in this first half. And that kick close to the line, and Swan takes the mark. And there's the youngster.
Just take your time. What's that? Okay, so it was a mark? Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, it's a mark.
That's good umpiring by the central umpire, because the boundary umpire was going to signal out on the full, and then he brought his hands down, and the central umpire's given him the opportunity to think it through. Swan down the line. McAvoy did well.
He's been influential play, McAvoy, just by the positioning on the field. Always plays a kick behind and very sound overhead.
So it was a long drought for Collingwood. It's 25 minutes between their 3rd and 4th goals, but they got the next. So Jamie Elliott to collect his thoughts. Justin Kazitsky with a bit to think about. Let's go down to you, Richard.
Well, Jack Kazitsky, they might have said, hang on, you took a cheap shot at one of our players, and we're going to let you know about it for the rest of the game.
Well, if Matt didn't know what was going on, he knows now if he's listening. Yeah. Start of the second half then. Collingwood lead it by 2 points on Friday Night Football. McAvoy has been good. Jolly has been good as well. Jolly won the tap. Now there's a free kick, and it's going Collingwood's way to be taken by Pendlebury. Looks down towards half forward, just floats it towards Jolly, who is quick to peel off. He gives it to Thomas, who's been a star inside the forward 50, and the mark is taken by Blair. Thomas has 21 possessions. Blair coming up for his first. What a contrast.
Coming off half-back, overlapping as he's been. Thomas has been very good.
And the guy who's dominated, bringing the guy who's really struggled into the play. Blair will kick from about 45. Pretty sharp angle, only about 15 metres in from the line. This kick is working back right to left. It's trying. It's trying. It's a goal. Oh, what a good kick.
It's his first kick tonight, as Dennis said, so It's been a quiet first half for one of their keys, and we talked a little bit about where do they get their goals from. Jolly got a couple, Cloak got, but he's a guy that we know can kick goals. I mean, he's an important small forward who can go into the mids, and that's a great
I think it was the fact that Jolly was the receiver out of the centre square is important, because I think they've said to Jolly, you're going to get useful when you're rucking to make sure McAvoy just can't cruise back on his own.
So first kick for Blair tonight. So this is equal to the highest lead they've had. Just going back to that report a moment ago, just ironically, Lee Fisher, of course, former teammate of Cozzy, who's the...
Oh, we're naming names now.
Well, I'm guessing. Here's Saad needing a reply and missing
I think what the umpire's saying is the emergencies umpire said, I think I saw something.
Yeah.
So in the video review, have a look for it. He hasn't... I don't think he's actually laid the report more to notify to be looked at.
So he's like a bookmark.
Well, that's what they do. If they see anything a bit suspicious, they don't necessarily lay a report. They note it for the video people to have a look at.
Well, unfortunately for Cozzy, he's got more chance than more Joyce of winning that one, I reckon. Geary going forward, and that one out of play. So a boundary throw in. So there's Lee Fisher, the former Saint. The two Fishers playing together for a while, didn't they? Good to see former umpires involved. Bannister, of course, we've seen a lot of.
Great initiative.
Yeah.
So this is the biggest margin Collingwood's had tonight, equal biggest margin. So the next goal, vital, good give. Now Milne's in the right spot for him, and he never got it, and then kicks to the pocket. Sipos just didn't time it right. Gets down low, Sipos, that was well done, and then hooking and missing.
It's one area of the ground I reckon Stephen Milne has got an advantage on Heath Shaw, is just when there's a dead ball or a stoppage, just get really active.
Shaw has been brilliant, and that one slipping out, and a chance coming back, but Seedsman.
For Thomas again, relishing this role. McCaffer is a right half back, kicks beyond the wing, leading Swan to the footy. Doesn't need much of an advantage, Dane Swan. He's about 75 metres from home. Doubling back is Cloak. This is tailor-made for him. They need a third man up to St Kilda. Well, Cloak couldn't hang on. Well done by Wright. Slips it away to Fisher. Confronted by Dwyer, who goes on to the next man. Oh, that was well played. Smothered it off the bit of Robertson, and it ricochets out of bounds. Thomas is a light across half back for the Magpies.
He's played so well. He's relishing that role. Jolly did well, got rid of his man, and then Pendlebury going down. And getting a free kick, Pendlebury, from the back.
That's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. I was on my knees.
So,
Look at this.
That's unbelievable. Mate, I'm not even touching. Look. That is unbelievable. Have a look at that.
Yes, it's always interesting. He didn't go on his back when he first went down. His weight was probably on his back once they were stationary on the ground. It's always... Still, I reckon you protect the guy first to the footy, even if you're harsh on the tackle. That's my view anyway.
He's kicked one already, Pendlebury. That's a great kick. So Collingwood pinch the break early in the second half. Dennis, hasn't been one of his great nights, Pendlebury, but the fact that he's gone forward and kicked a couple adds a lot of weight to his efforts, doesn't it?
He's just going at the moment, isn't he? About 15 possessions, still, what is it, 15? Yes, still on course for 30 tonight, or thereabouts.
It's a hard man to get a kick on Clinton Jones, though. I mean, he is the defensive tagger. He doesn't so much get a lot of the ball himself. But you've always got someone in your hip pocket if you're playing on Clinton Jones.
And here's the free kick here. He's a dangerous man to give a free kick away. The rules and the interpretations quite clearly favour the player driving for the ball, so I've got no problem with that free kick.
And credit the pressure of Sam Dwyer in the lead up to that goal as well. There's the bounce, and a very good one back in the middle. Jolly slaps it down, coming off the line hard as Blair, went to ground, tackled immediately by Dempster. The ball slow to release.
Didn't have it in the end.
Armitage has got it, and the umpire will ball it up. Interesting, Scott Pendlebury, as we said, 15 possessions. 81 career Brownlow votes, but only 3 against the Saints. Out of the middle, Armitage goes down towards half forward. Milne in position A. Shaw fights back, though. Saunders a quick hand pass. Armitage followed up, goes looking for Kazetsky. And what a good mark that was. That was a terrific mark. Shaw is hurt, at least for the time being.
His legs got caught in when Kazitsky came down, just purely accidental. But have a look at this. See Kazitsky mark it, but somehow or other Heath Shaw just gets caught
15 gone.
15 gone.
It is caught beneath him there a little bit. He's got a knock on his shin.
That was a good mark by Kazetsky. Hammered at him at close quarters. Side trailing suddenly by 13. Kick is on the way. That's better than his last effort. It wobbles through. They needed that one. Margin 7 points. That was terrific out of the middle too by Armitage. His follow-up work. Won the hard ball inside the centre circles. And suddenly it was Johnny on the spot across half forward to finish his work off and pinpoint the ball to Kazetsky. The kick not all that convincing, but it was straight, and that's the main thing. The Saints could have ill afforded to concede that goal.
Straight back.
So Seashore there.
There we go.
He's fine. He hasn't done just a little
He's
bit of a
still
knock
there.
on
He's
his
still
shin,
on the
I think,
ground. So
Yep.
Cosy getting a goal. So the Saints get one back. They are playing for their season, you feel, in the second half. St Kilda, they've got themselves into a winning position tonight by being with Collingwood to half-time. You just don't feel they can come back from 1 win and 5 losses. So Reed's kick, Swan quickly taking off, and Collingwood moving the ball with purpose at the start of the second half. Cloak going down.
Oh.
Thomas ripped off him. Saunders got down, but well done by Thomas taking it off him. That's Josh Thomas, and then a couple tackling Stephen, and a ball up.
We see Cloak pushing right up the ground. That's where Reece Stanley would feel most comfortable, I think, for Collingwood to get the best benefit out of Travis Cloak. Play deep, get it into him one-on-one.
Jolly backhands it down. Josh Thomas couldn't find a way through. Montagna goes to ground, taken high, will get the free.
Montagna.
49 plays, 42. Early going third term. Montagna takes off. Robertson tracks this one towards the outer side. In pursuit, Lynch. Robertson, that's a clever kick. Back into the path of Gilbert. Gilbert under pressure. Made it so. Kick goes inside the forward 50 and they win a free kick.
Arms are around the hole.
Going to Milne.
You let him run. It's not. Okay.
Yeah, he was ready just to lead on to the short kick. Milne and
No, it was a hole.
Shaw knew it.
Yeah.
Grappled before the ball arrived. Let's have a look here.
Time back on.
Well, that's a hole for sure and certain.
Fairly obvious one.
15 gone.
Obvious video for a kick.
What you admire is the bloke argues against that.
I don't think he argued that vehemently. I think he appreciated the decision.
There goes the kick from Milne. You wouldn't think he'd miss. Although, and Gilbert paid a price for getting that ball to Milne. He's coming off the ground with assistance. So St Kilda in real trouble. Hayes gone before the game. Swan's got the ball on the outer side to Josh Thomas.
Running hard, little kick down the line, good. To Elliott. Elliott spears it brilliantly. Great footy, one end to the other as Gilbert comes from the ground. So a double blow for the Saints there. So they have to, and he's going straight down the runes by the look of it.
Yep,
So here's the injury to Gilbert.
just in the tackle.
Go on there, Nick. No closer.
Oh,
15
Gee,
seconds.
and some-
Right angle wobbled. Is that what happened, I think?
and then a massive miss by Milne, and now Cloak to give Collingwood some breathing space, and he doesn't. So he's had a few shots. Anzac Day end up with a couple, but I reckon he missed 3 or 4 Anzac Day.
Yeah, well, he's back to 1-3 tonight from his shots. We know he's been lucky to kick 1 out of 2. He's been pretty good most of this year, but I guess the last couple of weeks he's dropped off his accuracy.
So Robertson,
You.
and that kick asked a bit, but Revol makes it. Been pretty good, Robertson.
yeah, Revolt only his 9th possession. His Armitage across half-back, got it from Montagna. Still inside the centre square is Sipos, but we know he can kick it long. Decides against that. Comes to Nunes. Nunes just pops it over the top. Geary has to go back and did well. Play on's the call. Wandered off the mark apparently. Sends this one down towards the goal line. McAvoy launches himself, 4th man in the queue, over the top of Wetz. And he's got this ball
Mark's here. Mark's here. 5
adjacent to the
metres, 5
behind
metres.
post,
Keep
and I
going,
dare
keep
say
going.
he
5
will come
metres or
around in the
50, keep
Stevie
going.
J curve.
Thank you. Hold that line.
Yeah,
Wait
the
for
right
call.
angle kick.
Wait for the call.
Not altogether convinced he'll kick it. Furtive looks. Now he steps around, and I think it's narrow all the way.
He's got good mitts, doesn't he, Ben McAvoy? Just when the ball comes in, it really looks like he's the one who's going to take it.
Hey guys, I reckon they've settled for Reid on Riewoldt for the rest of the night now. Goldsack and Brown were on him for a while, but Reid's been on him for the last half an hour. That's the right thing. He's the best defender on the best forward.
So Sipos just use his hands there. Side bottom's been quite geary with him. And a boundary thrown. I reckon the Saints have done well here. Collingwood came out.
Way back.
Yeah, they have. I mean,
Collingwood got the first 5 minutes ascendancy and stabilised.
Side bottom lead, just 5 disposals. So
Yeah, there's not many of them tonight.
one thing the Saints haven't done is kick well for goal in this quarter. Swan, brilliant. Well done. Elliott getting out. Well done, Blair. And now Cracker. Haven't seen a lot of him. Seen a lot of Swan. Good chase, though. Well done by Nunes, who came in for Hayes tonight. Fisher just fell over and then coughed it up. Cloak can't get an effective kick away. Pendlebury, time and space. Clever to Cracker. Goal. Well done.
Brilliant.
Well, a bit of football genius there from Pendlebury. He just finds time and space. He's so creative and creates his own little canvas there, didn't he?
They moved the ball out of defence, didn't they? That's what we felt in the first half. There was a lot of kicking the ball and going nowhere from Collingwood, but they got on the move, overlapped handball. I mean, they could have turned the ball over at half back there or half forward, but got the numbers to the contest.
Now, how good is this player, Scott Pendlebury? Picks up that ball in heavy traffic, little glance to his right, sees Andy Cracker, who finishes off with a nice goal. Now, just an update on Gilbert, still down in the rooms. It's a left knee hyperextension. They're really worried about his knee.
McAvoy won it down decisively. Stephen kicks inside the forward 50. Look at bouncing footy. Now a chance for Del Santo to mill men on in the square. Riewoldt gets off the leash and kicks a goal. His second.
You wonder how he gets clear of Riewoldt like that, you know, the main forward.
It's the work right there. I mean, you've seen him almost front and square, and Reid was playing on a different opponent, sort of one-on-one, and I mean, Nick Riewoldt's a very smart footballer and pushed forward.
And again, St Kilda doing well here because, look at Bucks. Every time you feel like Collingwood have got a grip on this game, the Saints have been able to get one back. Winning set of clearance is really important. It's
like persisting and hanging around. The more they hang around, the more pressure comes on Collingwood because they were the warm favourites going in. So St Kilda just have to keep close. That just builds the pressure on Collingwood a bit.
McAvoy and Jolly. Jolly easily wins it. Pendlebury's had a great quarter.
I'll have it.
Well, both their goals this quarter for St Kilda have come from stoppages, and that's an area of the game that Collingwood have been really poor at this year. They've been far too leaky when they've had a clearance.
They had 13 clearances in the opening turn, Collingwood. They've only had 5 since then. Here's O'Brien on the up. Good left foot off the boot. Charging forward. Up the back there was Fisher. That's in the back.
Too lucky.
First he ducked and then you got him in the back.
So you heard the explanation. Cracker maybe comes alight with that goal. Lovely kick to full forward. Pendlebury and Jones. Jones did well. He did really well in the end and then runs away with a running bounce. Can he control the kick? Milne has to go early. Shaw did well. Jones to butter up Seedsman. High on Armitage. Brilliant handball. Was it a advantage now? Milne's got the advantage. Thinking. Wants to kick a goal himself. Funny, scrubby old kick. Riewoldt in the goals. Held up. Great tackle, gone.
He could have done better than Milne. Sard was running into the hole, but he just looked a bit keen to want to kick it himself, didn't he, that time?
Bit keen. Goes short. Seedsman takes the mark. In the
Extremely keen?
I like extremely.
And that's to Richo's point about the best matchup for Nick Riewoldt. Ben Reid wearing him like a glove there.
Seedsman. Now that's ambitious. Got into his move before he reached the man on the mark.
Head delivered out of hands.
Well, not his best work, Seedsman. No room to manoeuvre either. And he went the short side, which was boundary side, and actually had completed the turn before he got to the man on the mark.
That's pretty humorous, isn't it? Look at that. That's what footy's all about.
He's got his own pit crew.
That's passion. Just give him a bit of helpful advice.
He'll kick this and let her know about it.
I think she wants to let his tyres down, Dan.
Wait for the reaction if he kicks it. It worked! It worked! It's out of bounds on the full. Those signs by next weekend will be mass-produced.
Oh, gee. That's great stuff. Gee, Stevie's been wasteful, hasn't he? But still, when under pressure like that, how can you score?
The big fella, Lee, you've called it earlier on in the game. Witts has been subbed out of the game, and the small version, as Buck said before the game, DeVito and Schwarzenegger, Kennedy's on.
So one first gamer for another. So some pace at it.
15 metres. No, you're outside 2 metres.
So against Sard. So second time tonight, a 50 for that against the Saints, but this one probably not directly going to cost them a goal. They're about to find out. McCaffrey's had the job on Dal Santo. Now the galloping O'Brien and Cloak on the lead, pushed underneath. Pendlebury's been going forward. Thomas has had a good night, hooking back to full forward, and he's a good mark. We've talked a lot about him, but he's a good mark.
Got it right that time, Lee.
Well, he did. I mean, he was basically, it wasn't a pack. I think the difference is it's okay to jump at the footy as long as you're just not in a pack of tall players. But he is exceptionally good overhead. I guess it maybe goes with the territory every now and again, or a lot maybe. He's going to go when there's a big man around him.
He's kicked 10 goals this year, including 5 against Carlton. He's had a good year, Elliott. And that one just missing. So both teams missing easy shots in this quarter. And Collingwood still unable to shake the Saints off.
Short one to the pocket, releases Robertson. Takes off around the outer side, runs to the defensive 50, kicks towards the wing. Montagna outnumbered, outsized as well. And Pendlebury is lifting. Josh Thomas has got it. Well done by Montagna. Scuttled across and put pressure on. Kick comes inside the 50, and McCaffrey, who started life as a forward, tumbles forward to take the mark about 40 metres out.
That's a really great result. He's played an exceptionally disciplined game. McCaffrey on Dal Santo. Dal Santo just with the 9 possessions, and this would be rubbing salt into the wound when you go forward and kick a goal as a tagger.
Sub's been made the other way now. Gilbert out of the game with the left knee injury. Brodie Murdoch comes on.
Just for the moment, Collingwood can't shake St Kilda, but this would help. The margin would go out to 13 if he kicks straight. Well, he's not going to add to the margin. He's missed the dartboard. Out of bounds on the full in the right full forward pocket.
So Stanley takes off. He's trying to get a switch going here. Good kick to Sipos. You do wonder when Scotty Waters makes the big play about Dal Santo during the week, and then Dal Santo doesn't reply with a good game. What's the next step, you wonder? So at the moment, Nick's having a pretty average night, isn't he?
And it was the perfect platform for Nick to have a good game, and Lenny Hayes obviously a late omission.
Bad kick coming out. That's a very, very good tackle from Dempster. Swan kicking forward. Blair, good. Well, I thought good hands, not quite in the end. Nunes can't break the pack. Swan, brilliant. Back turn, eluding. And then on the left foot, important ball here. Well done, Sipos. Elliott, though, going for goal, not getting it. And then Cloak in the pocket. And Collingwood continually inside their 50 here. Both the subs on. And there's the Gilbert injury, the hyperextension there. And he's out of the match. Witts is out of the game, but he's just been subbed.
Boundary throw in, knocked down by McAvoy towards the boundary. Swan, he and Pendlebury have been terrific. They work in conjunction there, but the kick not so flash. And they work it out of the back pocket. Sam Fisher's kick falls short of the wing. Opportunity for Thomas. Pendlebury again. Brown on the overlap. Pumps it back in again. High ball working in front is Cloak. Didn't touch it. Slammed away by Stanley. To good effect. He gave it to Robertson. Robertson kicks it just outside the forward 50 for Collingwood. Seedsman gets it from O'Brien. And eventually they deliver a body blow. 13 points the margin then. They worked hard for that. The Saints absorbing a lot of pressure, and finally the wall broke. Seedsman, aided by some terrific work by O'Brien, got through to kick the goal.
I don't know what you think. I know it's drawing a very long bow, but as soon as Collingwood got the 200-centimetre bloke off, 208-centimetre bloke off, and another medium on, they've looked quicker.
Just couldn't get it far enough, Robert. And Collingwood are doing this off the back of Swan and Pendlebury. They've had 15 disposals between them in this quarter. They have really made a difference, haven't they?
I've seen that pair do that fairly often, haven't they? Just really rise when the opposition, when they need to lift Collingwood.
Oh, Geary! Geary, hold of the arm.
So Saints, well, they've been getting that next goal back consistently. They need another here. That kick from Geary. Well, Revolt underneath it, wanted a free. Brown taking them on and showing a bit of the ball and a fair bit of flair, but kicks it straight back to Stanley. So can Collingwood get the next one and put that margin between themselves and the Saints? Stanley short. Montagna, he sort of played defensively tonight. He's had a bit of it. He's had to be on the back foot a bit tonight, but he's been filling gaps.
Montagna's been the player who's sort of gone head-to-head with Swan. Swan up to 20 disposals, Montagna 16.
Dangerous kick from Stanley, but they're able to get away here. Ross asking to come forward. Look neat off the boot. Sipos couldn't quite hang on. And then Josh Thomas, Nick Revolt did very well, and then switches to Sard, put him under pressure. Great tackle holding the ball. He's in a tough position, Sard, and wasn't a great handball, but he just needs to do something tonight, Sard. He just doesn't get enough of the footy.
Heath Shaw up to 20 possessions now. Jolly been very workmanlike down towards half forward. Clark runs inside the 50, lines up. It looks okay. He's kicked another one. So Collingwood suddenly putting their stamp on this game. Matty Hayes looking on helplessly. Did the warm-up, came off with a calf injury, and I suppose it begs the question, would you rather lose him before Thursday night or 10 minutes before the game? Sometimes it can be quite debilitating when the team comes in and they're already down after the warm-up.
Yeah, he's such a towering figure in this team as well.
Able to move the ball quicker, Collingwood. That's why I think surely at half-time they would have said, listen, we've been a bit slow in our ball movement. We're chipping the ball around. Let's try and get the ball moving, preferably through the centre square. Attack the defence. Done it much better this quarter.
It's been good, Jolly. McCaffrey, so this is the big margin. Cloak, Nunes, Robertson. Oh, not in the back. Gee whiz. And then back to Josh Thomas, back to Blair, back to Cloak, and behind. I reckon Secure have made some poor mistakes inside the forward 50 in this quarter. I mean, you think of Moon.
Yeah. Oh, they're forward 50, yeah.
Revolt's handball. They've had some chances and they haven't taken them.
Well, they play such a defensive game that they have to take their chances when they do go forward. I agree 100%, Bruce.
Kick to centre wing. Well, they've got to get the next goal. If they don't, they're going to be facing a huge uphill task at three-quarter time.
And they need to take some risks. They need to bring the ball back through the corridor. They need to play on at all costs. They need to just carve their way through the forward press that Collingwood are exercising at the moment.
So McAvoy, Kaczynski, and then Josh Thomas. Well done. Like this guy. I reckon he's a very likely prospect.
So rights away. Cracker is bearing down. White is quick, pulls away from Cracker if you don't mind. Kicks it in the direction of side bottom. Bounced obligingly though for Geary. Lays it off to Armitage. Armitage through the centre square. A couple of bounces. Searching kick. All Collingwood back though. He was hoping for something, but nothing occurred for them. Nothing that was good for them anyway, St Kilda. And eventually the short one comes across to Swan. What a term Swan and Pendlebury have played in unison. Swan off his step, gets it across to O'Brien. So Dane Swan now is up to how many, Bruce? Let's find him on the board.
21.
21. There's the kick up towards the wing. Sard's over the football and we'll have a ball up.
Get the impression now Close playing a bit deeper on Stanley too, just making Stanley really be a back 50 defender, not that sort of running upfield one.
O'Brien slapped it away. Del Santo. And Dempster down low. Harry O'Brien's got him. Good tackle. Pendlebury, well tackled by Ross. And then Murdoch, so the new guy on. That's his first kick. getting it forward. Milne, good contest again. Collingwood got the numbers back. Brown will use the run of Thomas, who's had more disposals than anybody else, and gets another. Gee, Daisy was brilliant there. Back to Seedsman. That's okay for Collingwood. They ran it 60 metres and found the line.
They're trying to run it now. You can see, aren't they? They've got to take the punt a little bit, and they might get the odd turnover, but they're trying to move the ball a bit more by hand rather than just the chip kicking, which...
Just get the feeling, too, they think that St Kilda aren't the side they were playing in the second term. Things are happening now for Collingwood. Although a good tackle by Geary got side bottom down, and the umpire will ball it up. Travis Cloak has booted 1-4, so you get the feeling if he comes to the party, it could be good night as far as the Saints are concerned. Still, they're fighting hard. Ross applies a tackle. Ball came to Seedsman. High ball just beyond the wing. The ever-reliable Dempster takes the mark, looks across the ground. Nice kick too. Kazetsky pushes up. He's marked inside the centre square. Not a crowd favourite. Goes to Robertson. He goes out wide then, and the mark is taken by Jones.
So Jones has been running mainly with Pendlebury tonight. Talked about Pendlebury's contribution in this term. Short to McAvoy. Then McAvoy off a step to fall forward. Del Santo's drifted down there. And then McCaffrey's been with him all night, and that ball not coming out and the ball up. So the Saints have to conjure a goal here.
He certainly has. He's been over him all night, McCaffrey. And just to illustrate that, only 9 touches for Del, but going at 17% effectiveness when he does get it.
So that's just a non-result, isn't it, really? Swan, O'Brien, good tackle, Sipos, boundary throwing. Well, Saints just need to get one here. They've got to get one back. It's Gilbert.
So he's gone for the night. He's gone before the game started. Harry O'Brien's been terrific in defence. This time last year was struggling for a bit of form. Graham Swan defiantly stood up on the tackle. Blair. There's Harry again, does a U-turn, goes back to side bottom. Side bottom goes along the line. That was the umpire straddling the line. He could have worn one. Hand pass fired in his direction. Short one comes to the pocket, and McCaffrey has taken the mark. Just feel that goal umpire last week was hardly done by during the week. Just obeying rules, and he was in perfect position too if Vickery had kicked the ball or marked it. Meantime, Goldsack, old news, he kicks it up towards the wing. Blair stretches, takes the mark.
Side bottom running hard and then kicking to full forward. Cracker protecting the footy. Can't quite get back. Right's been good. Dempster under the pump. Gee, played it well, Dempster. And then back to right. We know how quick. Oh, well done to Jones. And Jones a bit slow. Now he had Ross short and he kicks down the line to Sard. Now we know Sard's a penetrating kick. The Saints need some movement. That's a good kick. Down the line, lovely kick to another guy who can kick it a long way. Sipos goes short, gets to Montagna again. Joey's a long-running kick when he wants to be, and then kicks it beautifully, I reckon, off to Armitage. That's well played, St Kilda. 4 good kicks.
Yeah, good patient build-up there for St Kilda. It's almost like Joey was looking up for Stevie Milne, but he was right down the other end of the ground because Heath Shaw went for one of his runs. But patient ball, you just see the space created just at the top of screen there, and that's a good build-up from the Saints.
Ultimately kicking the ball beautifully to your teammate's advantage, isn't he? Had the yards break on Pendlebury, just put the ball out in front, becomes a fairly uncontested chest mark 40 metres out.
Kicked to a career-high 4 against GWS in round 3. He's kicked 6 goals this year. This is the biggest kick of the night for St Kilda. They're still in it. That was huge, I reckon. I mean, suddenly, on three-quarter time, it's a 2-goal game.
Well, again, it's St Kilda. Collingwood have just played so much better this third quarter, but just that ability to stay close on the scoreboard, and how close can they stay? Let's see what the umpire does here. I don't even know he was basically ready if it was going to be touched through.
But is he there next week? He's straddling the line.
It's interesting that we know the West Australian goal umpire lost his position this week, we're pretty sure, didn't he?
Yeah,
in selection.
He did. In fact, both of them went, didn't they?
Yeah, Chelsea Roffey the week before in the Melbourne game.
Why did they go? Because they were poorly positioned?
No, because
Why did they go, Dennis? Do you know?
No, I don't, if they're told to do that.
Well, that's a very weak decision if they're told to do that.
A bit hard to swallow that one.
Dane Swan, 10 possessions in the term. Umpire appreciation night. Here's young Kennedy on debut, goes down towards half forward, reading it brilliantly. Montagna. We're appreciating them, even if the AFL don't. Ball goes down towards half forward, falls in front of the pack. Kennedy How's that for an impression? Slips a hand pass away to Jolly. Siren sounds. Three-quarter time and the game's still to be won. Collingwood just can't put the Saints away. Friday night football. Magpies 10-10 and the Saints 8-9. 13 points for Collingwood.
Contact, so
Yeah.
you do the crime, do the time, basically.
And when it comes to Friday night football, in terms of cameras, it's like Tokyo Airport, isn't it? Like there's a lot around. Final term then. Cossie only the 5 possessions, and that incident almost like a bloke who doesn't want to play footy. Wide of the pack, Dempster goes after it. Kennedy, like him, immediately in the action, gave it to Jolly. Geary goes back. St Kilda still in with a shout here. They've been gallant tonight. Things haven't gone their way. Montagna at half back looks up, drives it long towards half forward. The kick not good though. Pendlebury goes back. Rebolt's unhappy. He was offering a lead. Pendlebury just jabs it across to half back, about 15 metres further afield. Jolly liked his game. Pendlebury pushes up again, kicks to a contest. In front is Lynch, and he's going to win the free kick. Not a lot in that, but the advantage of playing in front. Lynch, normally a powerful kick, just sets it up. Trying to get there is Cloak. Fisted away by Stanley, well played. Robertson again, hit the ball hard, in trouble. Broke free of a tackle. Loose ball, in trouble is Wright, taken down by Cloak. Ball went to ground, Wright banging away in there, and the umpire will have it.
What do you think of Stanley as a defender, Tom, on what you've seen tonight?
Look,
a
little bit flimsy, I think, really close to goal. Okay on an athletic half forward, he pushes up high, but needs a lot of work on the one-on-ones.
Montagna to Sipos, and then Goldsack and Sipos together. They fell over the couple of the Saints, and now Daisy gets it to O'Brien, and Harry goes low and goes really well and finds Kennedy, who's a lovely left footer. He has made an impression, come on, has got involved, and then kicks to the top of the square. McAvoy, well, quite pushed out. Revolt gets back and then needs to release the footy, and he does. Montagna, defensive kick, buys some time. Collingwood have got the numbers.
And in the back, advantage.
Well, Dwyer uncertain there, but he kicks the goal, Dwyer. How's that? He is a good player. A good finish, and Collingwood get the first goal. Well, everybody sort of stopped in
I think the advantage surprised everybody. It's funny, that advantage. I mean, if the player all of a sudden says, no, I don't want the advantage, and put the ball up, he probably could have taken it back, but but once he actually knew I've had to take the advantage, I'm committed now, he thought his way through really well, and he just was able to sidestep really well, balance up, and he's going to have a look at the goal on the scoreboard just to see how well he did it.
Why not? Just see Dwyer just getting at the front and square and taking the advantage. Thought his way through this really well. Maybe the advantage of being a 26-year-old mature player, just summed up the situation, took the advantage and finished off extremely well.
As uncertain goals go, that was a pretty good one. And Bruce was spot on. Almost an apologetic goal. He didn't want to kick it, but realised he was in a jam. There's Jones. It was important to that goal. Wide of the pack, Pendlebury again. Just the magnitude of Pendlebury and Swan, along with Thomas Early, has really got the Magpies into a winning position now. Cloak, who doesn't kick many goals against the Saints, wheels around. He's got one now. That's his second of the night. That was big.
I think it's his first goal, Dennis. Second tonight, but first goal not from a set shot all year. I think Richo made the point that all his 18 goals have been from set shots before, and his first goal was a set shot. So Richo, nod down there if I'm right. Is that his first non-set shot goal?
Yeah, that's right. First one for the year.
Gee, McCaffrey's been good. So, Richo, just reiterating, first non-set shot goal for the year for Cloak.
Yeah, that's right. It's strange, isn't it? Coming in 6 games now. That's his first goal from general play for the season.
And as Dennis said, that was huge. I mean, Collingwood's now getting a break.
Hold, Brett McCaffrey! Brett McCaffrey, hold.
Gee, I tell you what, I reckon if Nathan Buckley did the Brownlow votes tonight, McCaffrey might be getting them, don't you?
Well, just the job he's done. I mean, he's been a better player probably for Collingwood than Del Santos. So in the pure matchup, he's won the contest, so that's very good effort.
Thomas sweeping to O'Brien. And then Harry, short, still side bottom. Quite night for him tonight. It's been well held. Gee, when Beams can get back and Ball can get back, this is going to be a much better team, isn't it?
Yeah, Maxwell across half-back, just strengthening them also.
Means also, Tom, that side bottom might not get the hard tag that he's got tonight. Now, he's a good kick side bottom. He's a skillful player. He hasn't had many kicks tonight, and that one's always to the skinny side. So Collingwood have almost put them away, haven't they? Not quite, but getting close.
Del Santo, short to the pocket. Robertson has trained very hard.
Thanks, Harry.
Just talking about Cloak. Starting the night, he kicked 14 goals in 13 games against St Kilda. He's got 2 tonight, 2-4. Out of defence, Robertson. Knocked forward by Brown. Finding the ball on the deck, Kazetsky. Ross feeds it away. Geary did nicely, but unfortunately, Jack Stephen couldn't break the line. Little 1-2. Side bottom and Clark. And now it's back with Goldsack. Confronted by Sipos. Takes him on. Breaks away. Sends it back, but not where he wanted it to go. It was intended for McCaffer. One of the rare victories there for Del Santo. Marked in front of the man that's followed him all night. Centres it well. Taken by Fisher. Fisher looks inside the forward 50. It'll be a free kick to the champ. As always, he's run his heart out tonight. We saw him moments ago in Bruce's call back in the defensive goal square. Sort of game he plays. And this is where the rule of being on the clock is so harsh. No one pushes themselves harder as a leading forward than Revolt. Made the point before. You can hear he's under the pump. He's got to settle himself, take a few deep breaths, a few readjustments, and see what he can do. Man on the mark, 40 metres out. Revolt going at his third. Well done, Nick. Class.
I'll ask you, Richo, when we come back. I mean, just you talked a lot about Revolt tonight, and like just how you measured their 2 performances. I mean, that's a good return from Revolt in a tough, low-scoring game. You just look at him here, and Dennis summed it up about just the work rate and the hard hits he takes. Cloak probably could have kicked 4 or 5 at least. He's got a couple. So, Richo, maybe you come back and tell us what you think of the 2 big guys that you talked about before the match starts.
It's a good effort from Nick Riewoldt. It's been a tough night up forward for him. It's been in Collingwood's forward half more often, and he's had to compete with a lot of numbers down there. But when he gets his opportunities, made the most of it tonight. 3 goals, 8 marks. Could not have done a lot more with the opportunities presented to him, Nick.
Josh Thomas out of the centre. Robertson, gee, he has been a good player tonight. A running bounce. He's taken some chances. He stretches Cloak. Cloak's chase was good. Lovely kick, though. Del Santo was a great kick a moment ago to Fisher. Now, we know one thing about Del Santo. He's a beautiful player with the ball in hand. Now, Sipos, such a long bomber. Where is Revolt? He goes short. Stephen. So St Kilda still not going away here. Revolt creates the lead. Can he find him? I reckon he has. Gee, it was well played by both parties.
Yeah, really patient build up there by St Kilda, and good structure from the St Kilda forward line. They just allowed Nick the space here just to the left. Collingwood probably should have had time to bring someone back to fill that void, but Nick's work rate's just outstanding. Richo hit the nail on the spot. Just couldn't have done any more tonight, Nick.
It's hard to cover out near the 50-metre line, isn't it? I mean, that hole is hard to cover. It's a big area out there. There's a lot of players back, but he just ran really hard into the usable space.
Well, he hasn't missed tonight, and most of his goals have been from here, and he struck it superbly. He's kicked 4 without a miss, and there's still a chance. Well, full credit to the Saints here. I mean, they were gone 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, every time Collingwood have looked like dropping them off early in the 3rd quarter, they had that look about them, and St Kilda fought back, stabilised a little bit, and all of a sudden you're now early in the last quarter.
Lead.
13 points
Just
down.
a quick, how far off career best form is he? He's 30 years of age.
I must admit, I think he's playing as well. I think he's playing as well as I've seen him play. No signs of degeneration at all.
He's kicking as well as he ever has, Nick Greenwood. He's obviously worked really hard at it. But what people don't realise over the years is the amount of work he does before he gets the football, the lactic acid in his legs. Sometimes I reckon that's really affected his kicking, but tonight he's been absolutely spot on with that.
Saints still with a chance. Gee, they've been manful. They've been gutsy. Stephen's been terrific. Wins another hard ball. Plays on immediately. Montagna goes inside the forward 50. Rebolled up. Almost taken by Geary. He was slung. Head down, trying to get through that pack. Nothing doing for Armitage. We'll have a ball up. So Nick Rebold is giving his heart and soul, as he's done so often. His 145th game, Lee, as captain. Only Danny Frawley captain did more games. 177. Collingwood backs to the wall at the moment. It's the Saints who are doing best in the back. Speaking of backs, and it's a free kick to Armitage.
It's worked hard, Armitage. He kicked that very important goal before three-quarter time. Fisher gives Cozzy a run at it. Couldn't quite take the mark. No real recovery from Cozzy there. Saar down low, trying to wrest the ball away and the ball up. This next couple of minutes will determine the match, you feel. If Secure to get the next goal, it's an even money bet.
Yeah, without a doubt, Bruce. And Collingwood have had patches in games so far where they've really been off the ball, particularly late against Hawthorn and Essendon, so this is huge for the Pies.
Montagna can't get through. Seedsman, well done, Blair. That was clever. Thomas, they want the line and they get it.
Throw it in.
So Secure pushing hard here. They want a Stevie Milne bit of magic here in the pocket.
83-69, approaching the midway point of this final term. Pendlebury over the football. Jones couldn't find a way through. Wide of the pack, a chance for Shaw. Breaks free. You might get it, Bruce. Milne turns around, fires across the face of goal. Goldsack goes back and thumps the ball against the behind post. We'll have a boundary throw in. 14 points the difference. Patronise in Kilda, but gee, they've been terrific tonight. In front, Lynch slaps it down. Stephen again, a half chance, couldn't control it, off the ground by Swan. Going back, Armitage goes to Del Santo. Del Santo just wide of the target. Sipos couldn't reel it in.
And Sipos was within range there. He's such a long kick. That would have been a chance, you feel. There's Revolt and Brown. So Brown, the job has been mainly Reid tonight. Well done by Milne. Still with Stevie, has to throw it away. That was, and is that 50?
I like the intent there from St Kilda, and in particular Stevie Milne. That's the area where he can get dangerous on Heath Shaw to stoppage play. Forget about the free kick. The intent was right. Take the game on.
So how well can St Kilda keep this ball in? This will tell a tale. How easily can Collingwood get this out of the back 50? They've struggled a lot tonight in doing that, long down the line. Cloak was just searching for it. Del Santo's got a bit busy actually in the last 5 minutes. He's responded. Well done, Montagna. And then Swan with him. Montagna slaps it away. Armitage, a left footer, hooks the ball back to forward, or is it out of play? It's a boundary throw in. But suddenly the tension has gone up threefold here. Collingwood defending grimly right now.
It delves behind the footy now, has been this quarter, and it's just taken him away from the stoppages. He's been able to get a couple of possessions.
Boundary throw in. Revolt trying to be third man up. Finds the ball on the follow through. Was holding it. O'Brien bursts away. Fires it directly across towards Shaw, who wasn't expecting it. In goes Josh Thomas. Kennedy in there as well. Blair over the top by Lynch. O'Brien. Kennedy runs on. Takes off around the outer side. He's been impressive. Down towards half forward. Loose ball at the back. Robertson gets back. Well played. He's been resolute. Sends it inside the centre square. Well, Goldsack had the right idea but didn't succeed in knocking it down in front. Sipos goes to right half forward. Leading backside, takes the mark. He's 52 metres out. Revolt comes, then doubles back, and he comes again. Revolt on the lead. Stretches, and he takes the mark. Oh, this is something out of the box by the champ.
That's the work rate, Richo, that you talk about with Nick Riewoldt. 2, 3, 4 efforts. Saar just waiting here, waiting till his skipper came back, and he takes the ball at the highest point, almost impossible to defend.
Yeah, and he was really lucky there, Nick, because he didn't have any numbers back, so he was able to run back towards the goal, come at Saad. He had to do that twice, but eventually the work rate in the second and third leads gets him the footy. There were no numbers there. It was perfect for him.
This rule is almost unfair for guys who work as hard as he does, and that's a tired kid. Just another 5 or 10 seconds, he's done. His leading there, back, forward, came again, took the mark. The margin 13 points.
Seedsman kicked an important goal in the third term. He runs away, a couple of bounces, then miscues the kick. McAvoy got back, did well. Stanley, tough handball to Montagna. Back to Fisher, they're retreating, back to Montagna. Important kick, looked all right off the boot, gets it out wide. Taken by Dempster, Dempster down the line. Look at Riewoldt, still working hard.
That was a 70-metre lead, that one.
And then wants Kosicki, gives him a hope here. Reed getting back because he's taken the mark. Gee, Collingwood suddenly are under the pump. Kosicki kicks to full forward. O'Brien, Saad. O'Brien taps it down. Collingwood with some time. Thomas has been very good. Gets to Seedsman. Seedsman measures. That's a lot better kick. Finds McCaffer.
McCaffer, right centre wing. Goes down towards the attacking 50. Cloak in position A, leads back. Tackled surely. Well, there's a whistle, not the officiating umpire. It's our man, I think, umpire Stevic, who's raced across and has paid a free kick for holding on.
He paid a high tackle.
Yeah, over the shoulder, I reckon. It's just, there we are.
Oh, yeah, that's the high tackle.
Yeah, well, that's good umpiring. He was back at 45 degrees towards the middle. Cloak sounding off, but the umpire in the middle, who was storming back towards the goal square, didn't pay anything. Umpire Stevic had the angle. Better for our conversations, I reckon, umpire Stevic tonight. Don't you think, Tom?
No, absolutely.
You know, you can't beat common sense from up in the commentary box. There's Cloak then. What a huge kick. 40 metres out. Kick is on the way. It's tight. It's tight. It's good. What a wonderful kick it was. Coming in, it favoured Cloak. I'm talking about the kick inside the 50 to set up the goal. Cloak still had the job of kicking the goal, but the ball was delivered to his advantage. He was lurking behind the defender. Ball came in, almost the mark. As he turned and chased it back, he was in front, and the free kick paid by the non-officiating umpire.
So those big forwards, Lee, that they've had big nights, haven't they?
They have both been good. He has 7 shots at goal. Cloak 3 goals for Riewoldt, 4 goals, 1. So if you can have 5 shots at goal, you're doing okay.
And Cloak level with Lindsay Thomas in the Coleman medal at this early stage on 21 goals. So Stephen forward. Sipos got a push. Well, he's within range, Sipos. This is a massive kick. We saw him off a step kick a goal early. He missed a pretty easy set shot earlier. Sometimes I reckon he's better on the run, this guy.
Yep, thinks about it a lot here. No doubt about the free kick from the push there from Heath Shaw, but yeah, you'd like to see him almost receiving the hand pass from someone round the back and launching at 55-60, but he's definitely got the distance in him.
So this to keep St Kilda very much in this match. 55 metres out. Beautiful it's a kick. Massive kick, but it's missed. We've had a lot of set shots, the Saints, tonight. I mean, Collingwood missed a fair few earlier. Riewoldt, of course, has been... They're 5-5 from set shots tonight, but remember that Nick's kicked, well, at least 3 from set shots, 3 goals, 1.
Elliott did well, fires one at the feet of Pendlebury, who'd sent the ball in his direction. Goes back to Reed. Reed takes an unbelievable risk. Saad couldn't get across, though. Thomas took the mark, comes to Blair. 18 points the difference. Magpies on top. Blair told to play on, goes all the way back to Swan. Still ample time, 7.5 minutes remaining. They change the direction. Blair offers a lead for O'Brien. He's at half-back. Jabs it towards Jolly. Now they can build. Cruising past is Dwyer. He accelerates away. Goes down towards half-forward. Oh, that's a terrific mark. Quinton Lynch at full bore, and there's a lot to bore, and he took the mark about 80 metres from home. Just hung on, goes looking for Cloak, creates some space and takes the mark. It'll favour his left peg.
And that's the question right there, Lee. The one-on-one, I think Stanley's really quite vulnerable.
I've really been interested in that. I must admit, I think they have to persevere with him because they need to find a big defender. He looks like a bloke who doesn't play defence much.
Yep.
But I think he's one that you'd persevere with because I think he's got the size at least, speed maybe, and the height.
We talk about huge kicks. Cloak comes in. Kick is on the way. It's narrow all the way. But it's a handy point, as they say. 90 plays 71.
She's had some shots on goal, Cloak, again tonight. 3-5, so 8 shots on goal. Milne off that interchange. Revolt running into him. So just the one goal for Stevie tonight. So the two players that Scotty Watt has put under the pump tonight, they've had quite-ish ones. Del Santo's had some moments in this quarter. Revolt's kick floating forward. Lynch getting back and then gives the way. Swan up to 25. Good kick. Josh Thomas and Collingwood sitting on a 3 and a bit goal lead here. Short. Kennedy, first game tonight from Glenelg in South Australia. Collingwood in their draft picked 3 South Australians, one after the other. One from Sturt, one from Glenelg, and one from the Port Adelaide Magpies. Blair's kick out wide. Gio Dwyer did well. He protected the footy, kicks the ball to Cloak.
Clearly high. Not even facing the ball either.
I don't reckon you draw the attention to the screen there.
Hey, Tommy, do you just think he's become a little bit preoccupied with Travis? He's just not playing the ball on its merits now. He's just purely worried about Travis and the body.
Yeah, without a doubt. You summed it up beautifully in the intro, Richo, when you were comparing the two power forwards. One-on-one, he is the most... I mean, he's the hardest matchup in the AFL. So Reece Stanley's learning as he goes, and it is a baptism of fire as a key back.
So Cloak for a 4th goal, and he hit 3 of those 4 in the final turn. So it's almost as if he's looked at Revolt at the other end and said, I'm going to match you, and he's been able to do that. And as the match has worn on, it's been more and more difficult for Stanley to keep a hold of him. It's his best effort, by the way, against St Kilda. 4 goals. He kicked 3 in 2011.
It seems a match-winning lead. Just over 5 minutes remaining. Does St Kilda have any more heroics? One would think not. McAvoy has to wait. Jolly, who's made a splendid return, taps it down. Taken away by Swan. Kicks it out wide. Now the Collingwood supporters have found voice. Here's Elliott. Looks down towards half-forward. Little chip pass. But he finds Lynch, who moments ago was deep in defence. Golly, he's been a good pickup for them. And the big cue stick, we haven't seen this too often.
We haven't seen him kick his 60-metre ball bursters really in the Collingwood jumper, Dennis.
No.
I mean, the Eagles used to reckon anywhere from here he had the length, but we haven't really seen that this year to this point.
He should be pretty tired. One wonders if he can get the distance. He puts it right towards the goal line. Cloak is up. Couldn't hang on. Off hands minor score.
So it was an eagle a moment ago with a Docker on the mark there, outpointing Robertson, who's been good tonight. So St Kilda, they're a bit of a barometer, aren't they, the Saints? They're sort of one of those teams that you've got to try. If you beat them by about 4 goals, you're about where you should be, and that's what's happened tonight, hasn't it?
Just a little below the top group.
Milne's kick's a good one. Gets to Ross. I know that sounds condescending, but that's where they're at the moment. I think Jack Dye used to say they're a good ordinary team, and that's what you feel like they are. Jones is high ball to fall forward. Kozitzki gave a push. Sards had a quiet night. Sipos, still Sipos, still Sipos, no longer Sipos.
It's been a real positive for Collingwood tonight. Their tackling pressure. Dennis, you spoke about it in the prelude to the game. That's 55 Collingwood, 39 to St Kilda. Bucks would be happy with that.
I reckon for the Saints, I mean, the Sards and the Siposes and the Maliras, one of those three or a couple have got to go forward.
Yep.
I mean, Malira probably would have played tonight. He played very well in the VFL, but he was sore. But they're young, but at the moment they are marking time.
Darren Jolly is up to 18 possessions. Hudson was a worthy replacement, but gee, Jolly's come back and served notice just how important he is tonight.
He's still front on contact.
97 plays 71. Did the explanation.
Stay there.
No man, Empire Stevic. Cracker goes all the way back to Brown. Brown will go to the opposite side of the ground. Finds Shaw, who, like a relay runner, waits for the ball to arrive and takes off. Couple of bounces. Beckons somebody to come at him. Still beckoning. Goes short, and he finds Clark. Clark pops it back to Reed. So just over 2.5 minutes remaining now. Reed has the ball across half back. Goes on an angle towards the boundary. This boy will start next week. Kennedy, like the looks of him, pulls it back. His kicking is outstanding. Demands something of the man up the field. He runs on. That's ambitious. He's up against a champ there, but it's a tired champ. Goes over the top. Dwyer's kick was smothered. Del Santo's got it inside the centre square. Montagna drives inside the forward 50.
Salot-Assad, Reed just played him easily. Thomas, there's been that sort of sweeping quarterback a lot tonight, hasn't he? And getting it back. And then, is that out on the full? I think it might be.
Played himself right back into form, Dale Thomas. Had a bit of a sort of interrupted start to the year, but he's been outstanding tonight.
So Wright gave it to Fisher and short and finds Sipos. So just told every Collingwood player has been involved in a scoring chain tonight. Cloak with the most with 10 now. Sipos missed the last one.
15 gone.
He's kicked 1-2 tonight.
2 metres.
So 55 metres out. Gee, that's a good kick. That's a good-looking kick. And he squeezed it home for a late goal. So 2 for him. So 2-3 for Sipos tonight. Lee, your top 4?
I went for Pendlebury. He's in the middle of the screen there. I thought he had the hardest matchup because Jones, was on him, and I thought he's been really good. Rewald has almost lifted St Kilda back into it. Thomas and Shaw have been really good as backmen all night. Thomas is the rebounder, and Shaw, I think he's held Milne out of control and given plenty of drive himself. I mean, I guess Travis Cloak certainly, as the game's worn on, has been very good, but on a learning defender.
Fair call.
As always, Tommy right on the money there too. Dale Thomas, 34 possessions, equaling his career high. So well and truly played himself back into form. Jolly knocks it down. Pendlebury hand passes towards half forward. Del Santo, cracker, swerves out of trouble, goes inside the forward 50. Lynch a half chance, in trouble. Robertson, oh gee, that was a good tackle. That is a hulk to get down. Clock stops exactly on 1 minute, and the job is done, but it's been a struggle.
Some tough ones coming up for the Pies. Freo away is always a tough game, and the Cats in Sydney, that'll really separate the top 4 sides for the mid part of the season.
Revolt back in defence now to Jones, to Montagna. Del Santo in trouble, just scruffs it forward.
Seedsman on the up, he'll get it back. There's a long kick, and he goes and does it again. He's got a weapon, this boy. Running half-back that can kick 2 goals from 50 metres. They're handy, aren't they?
Yeah, when you can run to the 50-metre line and you got the distance, just have to learn to time it well. It is a weapon. He's
Witz's best mate. I think they've just gone in together into a flat, and Whitson here, the best of mates, and gee, that's a great thing to have, isn't it? That long kick. I mean, Mackie can do that at Geelong, can't he, off a half-back?
I mean, he just looks, I've seen him play a couple of times now, just looks really poised with ball in hand. He obviously uses the ball well, and that's that next generation of players to come through for the Pies. And
what about the Saints? Can they manage a couple out of that?
I mean, they'd like to think so. Carlton's starting to hit their straps. Adelaide away is always a tough game. They should beat the Western Bulldogs, and North Melbourne starting to play a bit of good footy too. So tough month coming up for the Saints.
Jolly tapped it down. Montagna goes towards half forward. inside the last 30 seconds. Murdoch was put down. Blair over the top. Seedsman got that last goal. Kicks beyond the wing. Lynch continues to work. Hit the ball hard. Couldn't complete the mark. Speaking of work, Revolt picks it up. Goes to Robertson. The game he's played. Robertson's been very good. Goes down towards right half forward and side. 9 seconds of the game. The Saints defiant and gallant. Hayes lost before the game. And then Gilbert during the game. And the 4 points belong to Collingwood.